Did you know that almost 70% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings, or that the average household is carrying over $6,000 in credit card debt? These stats aren't just numbers. They represent a growing financial crisis affecting millions of people. From skyrocketing debt to the struggle of living paycheck to paycheck, financial stress is a reality for most. But what's really shocking? How little is being done to change it. Stay tuned to see how these shocking money stats might hit closer to home than you think. The struggle with savings. Most of us know the importance of saving money, but the reality for many is shocking. Did you know that nearly 70% of Americans have less than $1,000 saved for emergencies? That means the majority of people don't have a financial cushion to fall back on if something unexpected happens, like a car breakdown or a medical bill. This lack of savings makes it incredibly difficult to handle life's surprises without going into debt. And yet, experts recommend having at least 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up for emergencies. For many, that feels like an impossible goal. So why is this such a widespread problem? Well, it's partly because many people live paycheck to paycheck, and after covering basic expenses, there's not much left over to put in a savings account. Others may struggle to budget effectively, or simply don't prioritize saving at all. The truth is that without savings, you're one emergency away from financial chaos. And this creates a lot of stress for people who are already trying to make ends meet. Debt dilemma. When it comes to debt, things aren't looking much better. Over 40% of Americans carry credit card debt, with the average household owing over $6,000. But it's not just the amount of debt that's worrying. It's the high interest rates on credit cards that make it so difficult to escape. For example, if you only make the minimum payments on a credit card balance, you might end up paying off your debt for years and still owe a large portion of it due to interest. And credit card debt is just the beginning. Student loan debt is at an all-time high, now surpassing $1.7 trillion in the US. Many students are graduating with tens of thousands of dollars in loans, which makes it harder to save or invest in their future. This overwhelming debt burden is often a huge source of financial stress, especially for younger people just starting their careers. Debt keeps many Americans from achieving financial freedom, and it takes years of planning, budgeting, and sometimes sacrifice to get out of it. The state of retirement savings. Retirement may seem far off when you're in your 20s or 30s, but the stats show that many Americans aren't thinking about it until it's too late. 44% of Americans have less than $10,000 saved for retirement, which is far below what you'd need to live comfortably in your later years. Financial experts say that to retire comfortably, you should have at least several $100,000 saved, depending on your lifestyle. But most people don't even have a fraction of that. Many struggle to save for retirement because they're focused on more immediate financial concerns, like paying off debt or covering everyday expenses. As a result, they're putting themselves at risk of running out of money in retirement, or worse, having to work well past their retirement age. The earlier you start saving for retirement, the better, thanks to the power of compound interest. But with so many people falling short, it's clear that retirement savings is a challenge for a large portion of the population. The paycheck to paycheck reality. Living paycheck to paycheck is the reality for an overwhelming number of people in the US. In fact, 78% of workers live paycheck to paycheck, which means that most of their income is spent on covering immediate needs with little to no room for saving or investing. This financial situation makes it incredibly hard to break free from a cycle of stress and financial instability. Unexpected expenses like medical bills, car repairs, or household emergencies can easily derail someone who is already living on the edge financially. Many people in this situation are also underpaid, with wages not keeping up with the rising costs of living, such as rent, food, and healthcare. This leaves them scrambling to make ends meet each month. The problem is compounded by a lack of financial education, which makes it harder for people to budget, plan, and save. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're constantly at risk of falling into debt or facing financial hardship. The key to breaking free from this cycle is learning how to manage your money better, even with small steps like setting aside a little bit each month for savings. The impact of financial stress. Financial stress is more than just a concern about your bank account. It affects your overall well-being, both mentally and physically. 73% of Americans say that money is one of the leading sources of stress in their lives, and it's easy to understand why. When you're constantly worrying about how to pay bills, cover unexpected expenses, or save for the future, that pressure starts to build up. Financial anxiety can lead to sleepless nights, increased tension, and even depression. The burden of not having enough money can feel overwhelming, and it often feels like a weight that you can never escape. But the impact isn't just emotional. It also takes a toll on your body. People dealing with financial stress are more likely to experience high blood pressure, heart disease, and digestive problems due to the ongoing strain. And it doesn't stop with physical health. The stress of worrying about money can also spill over into your relationships. It creates tension between partners, family members, and friends, causing conflict and frustration. The good news, however, is that financial stress doesn't have to be permanent. With the right approach, like creating a budget, building an emergency fund, and setting clear financial goals, you can regain control. It's a journey, but taking action can significantly reduce the burden that financial worry places on your life. Thanks for watching. If these stats opened your eyes, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos that help you take control of your finances. Share this with someone who needs to see it, and drop a comment below. Let us know which money topic you want us to cover next. Remember, small steps today can lead to big changes tomorrow. See you in the next video.